Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday we talked about what is a computer system. Before that I defined a system. Let us recall the yesterday's lesson so that we can go ahead with today's lesson. System is defined as a set of components or parts. Those parts work in an interrelated fashion and produce an output. And we also understood that computer systems were basically designed on the model of the brain which was proposed by von Neumann. He told that we can have a device that works like a brain that has got inputs from different organs like eyes, ears, actually 5 senses, and it produces outputs or results. And how does it convey the results? It conveys its result through mouth. So it has got output device, it has got input devices, and it has got a brain. But how do these organs communicate with the brain? They are connected to the brain by nerves. So nerves we can take set of wires that are connecting the different parts or input devices with the brain. These input parts or organs give the specific inputs to our brain. The brain processes these inputs and we get results. And how does the brain convey the results? It conveys it through the mouth. Let us give an example. Suppose I say a question, 2 plus 2 is equal to how much? This input will go through our ears. It will be stored in the brain. Now brain has got one more important component that's called memory. If the brain does not have a memory, we won't be able to remember the question and we won't be able to get the results. So initially, brain must have the capacity to remember 2 plus 2, and then it must have the capacity to calculate the results and display those results or convey those results through mouth. So our result comes as 4. Now this example I can use to illustrate the working of a calculator. In the calculator, if I want to do this calculation, I have to first press 2, then I press plus, then I press 2 again, then I press equal to, and I get a result. The device where you press these keys is called as keyboard. Let us have a calculator something like this. It has got an output device, that is the display. It has got the keys. Now, whenever you want to do the calculations, any calculations, suppose you want to add 2 plus 4 into 3, then you say equal to. What is the process of doing this calculation? All of you are familiar with this. We press first 2, then we press plus, then we press 4, then we press into, then we press 3, then we press equal to. The moment we press 2, it is displayed here on the output device so that we know what we have pressed. Otherwise, we won't be in a position to know what we have pressed. Then when we press plus, it is not displayed, or it may be displayed here. This plus is an instruction. And this 2, 4 and 3 is an input, or what we call as data. Today I have used the term data. Now once again, 2 is the data, 4 is the data, 3 is the data. But plus is not the data, plus is the instruction. What is into? It is again an instruction or command. We ask the calculator to do addition. We ask the calculator to do multiplication. And we ask the calculator to give us the results. We are giving commands. Once we give commands, we get results on the monitor. This is our output device. This is our input device. And once we give this input through keyboard, it is first stored in a memory. So again we have a memory. The calculator has got a memory where it stores the intermediate results and the type of operations that are being performed by that we ask it to perform. Then ultimately we give the final instruction, that is equality, and we get an output or result. Now we call this result as information. So what we have given data, and what we got is the information. Today I have used again two terms, that is data and information. What is data? It is nothing but the collection of facts and figures. It is a widely used term in computer science. I'll be taking separate lectures on what is data and what is information. But right now, for your understanding and for preliminary basis, I can say data is nothing but the collection of facts and figures or inputs. We say this is the input data. Then we are asking it to do calculations. Calculations can be said as processing. In our calculator, we have got an inbuilt device called as processor. We have seen it has got an input device, it has got an output device, and inside the calculator there is a processor. What does the processor do? Processor does these calculations. So when you input 2, it is stored in the memory of a calculator. Then when you press plus, it is again stored in the memory of the calculator. But the processor is getting these inputs from the keyboard and storing them in the memory. I am right now using the word processor. Another name of the processor is microprocessor or CPU, and engineering students usually call it as MUPI. Microprocessor. CPU is the full form of Central Processing Unit. We will be discussing these units separately in a detail, and we will try to understand the basic components of the computer through this example. Why I have given the example of a calculator? Because computers actually were developed, if you have seen the video of the history, because of the calculators. What are calculators? The calculators that were designed earlier were ENIAC and ADVAC and ADSAC. These calculators were the first computers that were designed in the history. This ENIAC and electronic numerical automatic integrator and calculator, automatic integrator and calculator, was basically designed by Department of Defense of the US to calculate the trajectory of the projectiles. So ENIAC or a calculator is basically a computer in the beginning stage of the history. It is the small computer. It has got an input device, it has got an output device, and it has got a processor, and it has got a memory. So again, I have named 4 components. What is the first component? We have a processor inside the calculator that does the calculations or processing. We have a memory that stores our question. Let me call it as a question. What does the question have? It has got the input data and instructions. Once it generates a result, that is displayed on what you call our output device. That is nothing but LCD. Now, input device is a keyboard. These are the 4 important components of any digital computer. It has got a processor that does the calculation. It has got a memory that stores our questions. I will be explaining that question in detail. It is non-technical term right now I'm using because you are beginners, so that you understand. Now it has got output device which displays the results, or once the data is processed, it displays the information, and it has got the input device through which we input our question. I think it's clear now. Once we input this question into a calculator, I will not call it as a question now. I use another term as program. I won't say question now. I'll use the term called program. What is a program? It is a set of instructions. What are the instructions? Plus and into, and it is the